Beginning of the British rule in India. In this session, we shall study about the arrival of the Europeans in India, the establishment of the British Empire in India, the discontent among the Indians, the revolt of 1856. India was declared a free nation on 15th August 1947 after a long and difficult struggle for freedom. The British ruled over the country for more than 2 centuries. Since ancient times, India was known for its textiles and spices. Arrival of the Europeans in India. By the mid 15th century, Arab traders had already established a flourishing trade with India, selling Indian goods in the European markets. The Europeans were naturally very keen to trade directly with India, but were helpless since the land routes to India were under the control of the Turks and they had blocked the entry for European traders. The Europeans thus turned towards the sea as a possible means to reach Indian shores. Vasco da Gama. In 1498, a Portuguese sailor reached the port of Calicut via the Cape of Good Hope on the western coast of India. The Portuguese were the first to start trading with India. They set up the trading centers at Cochin, now Kochi, Kannur, now Kannur, and Calicut, now Kozhikode. They conquered Goa, Dayu, and Daman. The flourishing trade of the Portuguese attracted the Dutch, followed by the Danes, the English, and the French merchants. On 31st December 1600, a group of 100 English merchants formed the English East India Company. Queen Elizabeth I issued a royal charter granting the EEIC the monopoly to trade with the East for 15 years. It was a private company run by a board of directors. The EEIC sent Sir William Hawkins to the court of Mughal Emperor Jahangir in 1609 to obtain permission to establish a factory at Surat. But due to the Portuguese influence, the Mughals did not give permission. In 1613, the Mughal emperor allowed the English to open a trading center at Surat. In 1615, Sir Thomas Roe, another British merchant, came to Jahangir's court. He stayed for 3 years and succeeded in getting permission. They set their trading centers at Agra, Surat, Ahmedabad, and Broch. Later on, they built forts and factories at Madras, now Chennai, Calcutta, now Kolkata, and Bombay, now Mumbai. Thus, the English East India Company expanded its influence and laid down strong roots in India. French. The French were the most serious rivals to the English in India. The French East India Company was established in 1664 under the inspiring and energetic leadership of Colbert, the economic advisor of the French king Louis XIV. The French established the factories at Surat, Masulipatinam, Pondicherry, Karaikal, and Mahi. During the 18th century, the English and the French succeeded in throwing the Portuguese and Dutch traders from the Indian soil. The English and the French came to dominate the Indian trade with Europe. They established the trading centers in different parts of India. These trading centers were mostly in the coastal areas. The profits that the companies made through their trade led to competitions and rivalries among them. It also often led to violent conflicts. The governments of England and France supported their companies in the wars, thus led to the Carnatic Wars. The wars fought between the English and French is known as Carnatic Wars. This is also called as Anglo-French Wars. The Carnatic War lasted from 1746 to 1763. This war came to an end in 1763 by the Treaty of Paris. According to that, Pondicherry, Karaikal and other French possessions were returned to the French on condition that they should not fortify them. The Third Carnatic War put an end to the French ambition in India. The Battle of Plassey. This battle was fought at Plassey in the year 1757. The English East India Company started maintaining an army in Bengal on the pretext of protecting its trade operations there. The British merchants fortified their factories in Calcutta, now Kolkata, without seeking permission from the Nawab of Bengal, Siraj-ud-Dawla. This angered the Nawab, who demanded its removal, which the British refused. They were keen to bring Bengal under their control, since it was the country's largest and richest province then. The Nawab declared war against the British, but he was defeated and put to death in the battle. Battle of Buxar. After the Battle of Plassey, the British established their dominance over Bengal. They acquired cheap labor and they exploited the farmers by forcing them to grow cash crops such as cotton and indigo at cheap rates, thus earning huge profits. In order to put an end to this poverty and oppression of the people, Mir Qasim, the new Nawab of Bengal, formed a coalition with Shuja-ud-Dawla, the Nawab of Awadh, and the Mughal Emperor Shah Alam II, and waged a battle against the British. This was called the Battle of Buxar and was fought in 1764. However, the British won this battle too, thus bringing Bengal finally under their control.